This is the Detroit Sports Podcast Network.
Detroit is the greatest!
Straight up light you on fire for a coney dog right now.
Takes, throws, end zone, Calvin, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
More to see Sports Rant, DetroitSportsPodcast.com. I'm Benny Stubbs, sitting across from me is the King, Jason Jarvi, sitting to the left of me is the phone, John Macaroon. Happy New Year, Jason Jarvi. How are you, my good friend?
Happy New Year to you, Vinny Stubbs. It's been a while.
It's been too long, my friend.
I know, it's been a couple weeks because I know John was off. He was doing his crazy reporter thing at the Quick Lane Bowl. How was that, John?
It was amazing. It was really cool. Got a chance to be at Ford Field in the press box. Got to act like I knew what I was doing, and I had a really good time.
Well, fun stuff. Did you get to meet any? Did you meet anybody famous? See any big media people?
Listen, I got a chance to be there, cover the game, go in the locker room. Beforehand, I talked to Adam, and I said, "Listen, I'm not really sure what I'm doing. What are kind of the basics of what I should be doing?" And he said, "Listen, it's a working environment, which they stressed at Ford Field. People are there to work. So don't go out there and geek out." So what we did is we saw some people there from the Free Press and the news doing their work, typing away. But what Kenny and I did was we enjoyed the spread and we had a great old time just soaking everything in, being in the press box, watching the game, covering it, and really getting into it like a professional. And the biggest compliment I could say I got was Adam said, "You didn't screw it up. You did a good job." And we got some audio. We covered the press conference and we had a good time. We made it through because Monday was a snowstorm. So I was very happy with the experience. Hopefully we get a chance to get more credentials for everybody else too. It was a really good time.
Way to go. What was you said spread? What was the spread like there?
Slows barbecue.
Oh,
the first time I ever got to indulge in Slows. Try the macaroni and cheese, the pulled pork with the sauce. Good God. I don't even know how we covered the game. We were like, this shit's good.
That's what I knew when I went to the Tigers the first time is that I knew just don't screw it up. Don't basically don't act like Vinny. Ask about somebody's balls or something. But I remember going there, and the main thing I saw with the Tigers was that you got free pop, and that's all I really wanted. Like they had that you could buy food, and there was a place that under the stadium for special people where you could get like $1 hot dog. But yeah, it was awesome.
Dude,
I love
Ford Field got me hooked because you know what they got for specialty that I love? Big huge tub of popcorn. Go up there, grab it, and do your work. Put it up there on the press box, type away, and as long as you got popcorn and pop, I was good to go.
Fun stuff. Vinny, is there a place where you would want to go, do some press box? Like if you could go anywhere and do some press work.
Yeah, Comerica Park probably.
You want to go Comerica Park?
Yeah, absolutely.
You wouldn't want to go to maybe
the Palace or Lincoln Financial Field.
Lincoln Financial Field, cover your Eagles, where Chip Kelly was just fired.
Absolutely, and he deserved it.
He fired himself.
Yes, he did.
I got a feeling like if Vinny were to be in a locker room, remember that Kansas City manager who threw the phone after a ridiculous question?
Yeah,
I got a feeling within a week or two, Vinny would ask a question that would so infuriate someone that he would make a moment, don't you think?
Yes,
Vinny
I would.
Make
I would
a
do
moment.
it every single time I went in there, and I would really just go the extra mile to push their buttons.
You'd be the one guy from Any Given Sunday.
Yeah, Any Given Sunday.
But let's stay on the NFL. Let's talk about our Lions. They just finished up the regular season.
Yes, they did.
Got a win against their rivals, the Bears,
right.
24-20, and they finish out the season 7-9.
That's right where I had them, 7-9.
And it's pretty bad.
It's absolutely disgraceful.
It's unacceptable, right?
It's not acceptable.
They were 11-5 last year, and start the season off 0-5, 1-7 going into the middle of the season, their bye week. They were respectable in the second half of the season. They were 6-2. Stafford looked a lot better, but
That's unbelievable!
it is unbelievable, Matt Stafford, that somehow you were able to turn it around and look like a better than average quarterback, which I still think Matt Stafford is an average quarterback. But even though they finished 6-2 to close out the season, it's still 7-9. You're still on the outside looking in.
Well, they started off the season 0-5. They were on the national television a lot, and they got embarrassed a lot. They started off 1-7 after going 0-5, so halfway through the season they're 1-7. And Second half was 6-2, but they had nothing to play for, and it didn't matter, and there was no more pressure on anybody, and they just played.
And they were playing considerably worse teams.
Absolutely.
Raiders,
That's another good point.
Eagles.
So those wins really don't mean anything to me. Starting up the season 0-5, that's who they really are, 0-5. And you fire Jim Caldwell, and you fire Jim Bob Cooter, and you fire Terrell Lawson, and you let them take the head coaching spot in Cleveland. Goodbye. Thank you for everything. You went from the number 2 defense overall last year, you lose your defensive tackle, and Levy didn't play, and then what are they, 16th or 17th? It's not good enough. So get the hell out of here. Bring a GM in. They're not going to fire anyone.
Now, hold on.
They're not going to fire anybody.
Before we get into all the talk of the coaches and the GMs, I want you to think about this for a second. We really were technically 2 plays away.
I don't care, Jason. It's the same thing every year with those guys when they're in contention.
2 plays away from being 9-7.
Jason, they're not, though. They're 7-9.
I know, and those plays happened, but just look at this. Seahawks, they had the batted ball. If that turns out differently, we win that game. So that would be, we were 8-8, and then the Green Bay game and the Hail Mary.
But even if the ball got swatted out of bounds by that guy on the Seattle Seahawks and they got the ball back, what makes you think they wouldn't mess it up anyway?
And then they blew the 20-point lead plus
against Green Bay
in the first game versus San Diego.
And Green Bay.
Well, there you go. Right now, you're looking at 10-6. They're that close to being 10-6.
He sounds like a Jim Caldwell apologist, Vinny. Is your alarm getting raised here?
Yes, it's really starting to irritate me. Shame on you, Jason Jarvi.
So my kind of stance is this, and I've said it before, is all I really want the Lions to do is to win. And that's all I care about. I don't care who's coach. I don't care who's GM. If it's Jim Caldwell, if it's Sheldon White, I don't care if it's Elliott Wolf and, I don't know, insert random coach here. Is it going to be Mike Pedden? Are they going to bring in Chuck Pagano or other random people? But I see both sides of it. You know, and I called for it in midseason as well, that they needed to broom everybody out. And they broomed out Lombardi. They broomed out Mayhew and Lawand. And then they started getting some sort of momentum. And I think I even said this too, is that the Lions are going to finish out the season with a win streak. They're going to gain momentum, and people are going to be optimistic about next year, and they're going to bring everybody back. Mm-hmm. And I see the sense in it. I don't think it's not completely crazy.
Right. It goes both ways, but this is who the Lions are. And if Martha Ford really wants us to make us believe that she really does care, you got to fire them. You got to do it. Sorry. You got to go. You got to fire everyone. If you're serious, fire them. But you're just like your husband and you're a bullshitter.
Do you think there's anybody out there, though, who could actually come in and immediately start winning?
I have no idea. You have to hire Ernie. Of course, he has to get the right guy in here, and he'll know, and then they'll go from there.
See, that's the thing. I really believe that whoever you bring in here, new GM, and they decide that
then it's not going to change, Jason. It's not going to change. It's going to stay the same.
So you'd rather, let me get this straight, you'd rather them bring in a new GM, mm-hmm. broom out the rest of the coach, everything.
Absolutely.
And start over, probably have another 2-3 years of mediocrity.
Not necessarily. If you get a guy in here that knows what he's doing, you don't have to worry about that.
But who? There's nobody.
Good question, Jason. Do I look like I'm Ernie Accorsi? No, I don't.
And that's the thing. I think
I look like Peter North.
I think we're smart enough though that there's not the glaring obvious choice out there. There's not the Jim Harbaugh out there.
It's not Jim Caldwell. It's not him. That's Martin Mayhew's guy. Martin Mayhew's gone.
Adam and I were texting back and forth, just kind of people were asking, okay, you guys don't like Caldwell. It's obvious on your Twitter page at Detroit Podcast. It's obvious you guys are hating on Caldwell. It's obvious that you guys don't like what he's doing. Who's the next guy that you think is going to be? And Adam threw out Chuck Pagano. He's like, listen, if he had some success at Indianapolis and he was doing somewhat okay, this year was kind of a down year. What do you think about Chuck Pagano if he comes?
He's not fired yet.
I don't see what he's going to do. What he can do differently that Jim Caldwell's done.
I don't know. They got 4 guys besides Sheldon White that they're interviewing. Chris Ballard, Kansas City, Director of Football Operations. Chris Polian, Jacksonville, Director of Player Personnel. Jacksonville, absolutely not. George Patton, Minnesota, Assistant General Manager. Maybe. Highly doubt it. I like this guy, Trent Kirshner, Seattle, Co-Director of Player Personnel. He's the guy that makes the most sense. Seattle has made the most improvement over the last 8 years, ever since they had Matt Flynn and they drafted Russell Wilson and they took Russell Wilson over him. That took a lot of balls.
That was more Pete Carroll, though.
That's fine. But he was the Co-Director of Player Personnel. He was in that system. And he's flourished since 2009, and they've won a Super Bowl, and they've gone to 2 NFC championships. This guy, he knows what it takes to win. He's clearly the guy, and he can bring a guy in. I don't know who the hell they're going to bring.
Now, of all the candidates that you read off, if one name kind of rang a bell, if they hire Chris Polian, that's probably the biggest sign that you might keep Caldwell, because that guy, I think, really is a supporter of Caldwell. He's got ties to him, so that name rings a bell. So look out for him. But I do think, though, that the Lions are going to take their time, which may be a detriment to the process, because you got jobs opening up left and right, and you got some sprinkling of people that have kind of come out already and said, hey, I'm staying where I'm at. I'm not going to interview. You need to kind of move fast, get that general manager in place, because if you don't...
They're waiting for the playoffs to be over.
Yeah, see, that's a problem. I think that taking time
to be a problem. I don't think they're going to do anything this year. They're going to keep everybody, even Sheldon White.
Oh, God, please, Vin, don't say that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Do you like what Jim Bob Cooter has done these past couple of weeks?
Yeah, but it's not rocket science. This is what they should have been doing since week 1.
I get it, but don't you think he has at least earned, maybe not in the Lions, but do you think he's at least earned a shot to be an offensive coordinator somewhere?
No, I don't know, but not necessarily. I mean, because the Lions went 11-5 last year, and guess who their offensive coordinator was? It was Lombardi.
But that was
the defense. Yeah. We had an amazing defense.
Good point. But their offense, they had a lot of yak. Dude, Stafford got 80-plus passes for 3 receivers this year, too, and they still went 7-9.
How much of that, though, was in the latter half of the season?
Probably the bulk of it was, the last 8
Because I know fantasy-wise, Matt Stafford was irrelevant the first part of the season.
My goodness.
I picked him up, and he led me to a championship.
You won the championship?
I did in the station.
Oh, can I rub your balls?
Oh, maybe later.
Absolutely.
We are in the presence of greatness, fantasy-wise.
My team went 3-10. No need to laugh. It's okay.
But I do see the sense in keeping the consistency. If you keep Jim Caldwell, you keep Jim Bob Cooter. Terrell Austin, he's probably gone.
He's going to Cleveland.
I'm not sure if he's going to go to Cleveland, but
don't you dare.
Let him go somewhere where he actually has a chance to be a good coach. If he goes to Cleveland, he's going to fail.
They've had 6 head coaches and GMs since 2008.
But let Caldwell and Cooter, let them kind of work this offense, give them a chance to be better. And it might not be Sheldon White, but let's say they bring in Kirshner. I think it would make sense to keep those guys, because especially if, let's say, Seattle goes to the Super Bowl, we're probably not going to have a chance to get Kirshner here until February. So by that time, all the guys who have been let go, Chuck Pagano, Tom Coughlin, he stepped down from the Giants today. Mm-hmm. Everybody's going to be gone.
I agree.
And I mean, you look at like the Adam Gase. He's the offensive coordinator of the Bears. He's going to be a head coaching candidate a lot of places.
Away from him.
But what I'm saying is that where he goes, he may be taking Jim Bob Cooter with him.
Right.
So it might be, I mean, we may have to just keep Caldwell because he's going to be the best option. I mean, unless you're going to somehow convince John Gruden or Bill Parcells to come out of retirement and coach the Lions. Otherwise, we're going to be in rebuilding phase for the next 2 to 3 years.
What GM is going to want to take this job here knowing he can't bring his own guys in here? You're going to get another yes man, and that's why they're going to keep Sheldon White for this year. Next year, they're going to go 5-11, and then they're going to fire everybody else.
Vinny, I think you're mistaken.
And then Stafford will have another year of failure.
I think the Fords are going to let the general manager make the decision. I think that
it might be Sheldon White.
I think what Jason's saying is that the best option might be to keep Caldwell because of the other candidates out there. When you look at the candidates, there's no world beater out there that's going to come in here and get us, 12 wins and get us to the Super Bowl right
what
away.
about Jim Thomasula?
Yeah, right.
What the hell are you laughing about?
Jim Harbaugh likes him a lot.
Oh, my God. Poor guy.
No, I'm starting to understand what Jason's saying, but there's too many mistakes in the field this year. This 7-9 season was a wasted year, partly due to the fact that Jim Caldwell made some mistakes that cost you games.
And Calvin Johnson's gone, by the way.
But he's also won games, and no, he's not gone.
Yes, he is.
I think there's a good shot that they restructure him and bring him back.
I don't know.
I mean, if I'm Calvin Johnson, I'd say pay me my money or let me go.
He has like 3 cuts already.
He has no real reason to take a pay cut unless he really loves Detroit, and that would be telling. If they bring back Jim Caldwell, if he likes what Jim Bob Cooter, because they've gotten him more involved down the stretch when after JBC has actually gotten his hands on the offense. I really think that my prediction is that they're going to be keeping Jim Caldwell, Jim Bob Cooter, and. Fine, you can boo me, but next year they're more than likely going to have a winning season.
Yeah, I saw the schedule. Oh my gosh, it kind of shakes out that if they play some the way they played the second half of the year, then they're going to have a solid chance. And look, the schedule looks favorable for sure. I see what you're saying, Jason.
They get an easy season, and we can dive into it probably in the next couple months, but we have the 16th overall pick now in the draft.
Yeah, and we could have had the 11th, but we won yesterday. So
5 picks dropped. Do you believe that?
Yeah, and that's Jim Caldwell. That's the Detroit Lions.
I don't think it doesn't hurt us. It gives us because if we screw up that 11th pick, wouldn't you feel better about screwing up the 16th pick?
No, but if
than
they would have
screwing up
lost
the 11th
yesterday, they
pick?
probably would have fired Jim Caldwell. We wouldn't even be talking about this right now.
That's probably true.
Yeah, instead
They won because, and don't you want to see your team win though?
I do, but I don't.
So we're damned if we do and we're damned if we don't.
Yeah, the Eagles are they're mock draft. They're picking Jack Conklin from Michigan State. You know anything about that guy?
He's a good left tackle. He did get manhandled by Alabama though.
Oh my goodness gracious, who wouldn't?
But here's
you're right.
Here's gonna be my first prediction for the draft, and I'm getting out the cornbred here. Are you ready?
Is this here for the Lions?
Lions 16th pick from Ole Miss.
You want to see
Laquan Treadwell.
Laquan Treadwell. Keep that name in your memory banks, folks.
Wide receiver
from the King.
Wide receiver.
No,
Ole Miss.
No.
Oh,
they're going tackle.
What got you to think about that guy?
Well, I think they're just looking at the draft. I've glanced at a couple mocks, looked at the big boards, and there's really 4 big tackles in this draft. And I'm not sure if they're going to make it all the way to 16. So at that point, they could really go anyway. If I'd rather go for if Treadwell's there, I think he's right now the top wide receiver prospect. If it's between him and like the number 5 defensive tackle, I'd rather go Treadwell and get that next wide receiver to take over for Calvin Johnson.
He's projected at number 3 going to San Diego.
Who?
Laquan Treadwell via Bleacher Report.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Keenan Allen's coming back. That's way too high for a wide receiver. And this is all early speculation.
Right.
I mean, Treadwell, there's a possibility that he's a top 10 pick, but it's probably closer towards the back end of the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think the need right now, I guess you can start talking about it, the biggest need for the Lions in the draft, wide receiver?
No, it's not.
Yeah, but
tight end.
The biggest
in the first round?
The biggest need for the Lions is whoever the best player available is.
They need a defensive
And Treadwell,
tackle.
at that point, if he makes it that far, Treadwell might be the best player available.
But wouldn't you say that's been the strategy with the Lions, is best player available? Maybe now it's time to start targeting needs?
There's no way that you can tell me that Eric Ebron was the best player available.
No, he
the
wasn't.
Number 10 pick.
He was not.
So that
makes it so much worse.
In their minds,
He was the worst player available, and they took him.
in their minds, he might have been on their board, but no, he was not the best player available. The guys that they've been taking are not the best player available. Laken Tomlinson was not the best player available. I can't even remember who we were looking at the draft at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably Malcolm Brown.
Yeah.
I think everybody figured we were going to take D tackle because we didn't have any. And then we take Laken Tomlinson, who's a big pile of garbage so far.
Yes, he is. Who's that defensive tackle from Ole Miss? Robert.
I don't want him. The guy
he's
who
the best defensive tackle.
the
in
guy
the
who
draft.
climbed a wall, and
You might
then,
need to visit Doc before he comes to the draft.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's got some issues with some marijuana.
Oh, he does.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a draft pick for the Lions.
By the next podcast that we record, do you think the Lions will have a general manager?
Nope.
No,
It's
unless
gonna
we're going to
Sheldon
be
White.
off for another month.
Oh, man. That's not what we need right now. We need to move fast because you guys are saying it. We need to get the pieces in place. And, man, the Lions just do things all backwards. Hey, it could be the Browns, though. They want their coach first before they hire general manager.
Oh, my God. Could
the
you
Browns
imagine
are
being
horrible.
a Browns fan?
Oh, my gosh, dude. It's terrible.
My goodness gracious.
Yeah, but you're looking at the way the Lions are looking. I think they really feel that they got something in Caldwell. And that's probably why they're going to take their time on the GM. I think if you get a GM who can actually bring in players, it's going to be a better team. Or would you not agree? Do you think Jim Caldwell could succeed if he had better personnel being brought in by a better general manager?
Yeah, but you can't be playing the game with 10 guys on the field. I mean, he did it like 5 times last year. I mean, that's embarrassing. And then that Hail Mary against Green Bay. Everybody in the stadium knew that they were going to throw a Hail Mary except for Jim Caldwell. And it's silly nonsense like that. And then keeping your offensive coordinator way too long. And then when you fire him when you're going to London, get blown out by the Kansas City Chiefs. By the time I turned the TV on, it was 31-3.
You can't
You can't have a guy like that.
the Hail Mary, you can't put that all on Caldwell.
The hell if I can.
Yes, 50%. I think it's his fault that he doesn't realize that it's going to be a Hail Mary.
That's enough.
That they don't put Calvin Johnson out there.
Mm-hmm.
The other 50% are the players. 50% of their losing is on the players, if not more. They're the ones who are out there doing every single play. He can't hike the ball. He can't throw the ball for Matthew Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Matthew Stafford overthrows players on his own.
Yes, he does.
You know, guys miss tackles not because of Caldwell, it's because of their talent level.
Mm-hmm.
So I honestly think Caldwell's going to be back.
So do I. And it's a disgrace. Oh,
Doc.
my goodness gracious, gentlemen. What are we going to do with the Detroit Lions?
What have you and Jock been saying?
Well,
I know that you want them both out, but what do you honestly think?
we wanted a clean sweep. We wanted everybody gone, start over, start the process of working toward a Super Bowl. When Jim Caldwell was brought here, my reaction, Adam's reaction was, okay, we're not going to win a Super Bowl with him. He's a gatekeeper. Fine. The first year you rode that defense, but then you could argue with that defense, you should have made a significant playoff push. You might have blown a chance to win that Super Bowl with that defense that you had. And then you come back this year and you follow that up with a 7-9 season. Now you're not gatekeeping anymore. I think his in-game managing is just enough. It's just poor enough where if you keep him, fine, you could have that playoff success. I don't see that consistent 10-year success where you have 12 wins or more, or 10 wins or more,
God.
like New England. New England's gone 10 years with at least 10 wins. That's
Listen.
what we're trying to build toward and win a Super Bowl. The Lions with Caldwell can be okay, get to the playoffs, maybe even win a round. To get to the ultimate prize, what we want, what we're hungry for, it's not Caldwell.
You see how easy their schedule is next year?
It's super easy.
Oh, my God. It's so easy.
If you keep them, you have to get to at least win 1 or 2 games in the
Check it
playoffs.
out. Jarvi, Eagles, win. Redskins, win. Jaguars, win. Titans, win. Rams, well, they lost this year, so lost.
I don't automatically give the win to the Redskins or the Jaguars.
Giants, Texans, Colts, and Saints. Oh, my God.
That schedule is juicy, huh?
That's so easy.
That's what we said. We said it. You can keep Caldwell and have success, but we want to win the Super Bowl. If he's here, we're not winning the Super Bowl. Period. He's a gatekeeper coach. Fine, you've gotten us, way farther away than from 0-16. But now I'm raising my expectation. I want to get to the playoffs and win a playoff game and have a run. Can you have a run? I feel like in the playoffs, Caldwell will do something stupid, call a timeout at the worst time, send out 10 players on a field goal when the game's tied late in the fourth quarter. He'll do something stupid to cost you the game. You can't have that.
And that's why Jarvi wants him.
No, Jarvis thinking objectively in that you could have 10 wins with him next year, no doubt about it. But my that's not my point. My point is, are you going to win Super Bowl with Caldwell? Hell's to the no.
I agree with you.
What happened to your optimism, John?
Oh,
They won 7-9.
Like weeks ago, you were like, "Oh, the Lions, they're going to the playoffs." It's gone. The Michigan State just got, jail sexed by Alabama.
That'll do it to you. And then a 7-9 season when you have a team that could play a lot better. It at this point in time, I'm not optimistic with the Lions. I don't even think they'll get the best guy. I bet you whoever comes to the Lions, if they get the guy from New England, then the guy from Green Bay will end up being a general manager, or the gentleman that Vinny said. If they get the guy from Seattle,
Kersner.
then the gentleman from New England will be a super success. It's just a vibe with the Lions that just says something needs to be done to change it. It's negative and it's toxic, and I'm hoping that it changes. But, we always hope. But in the end, we've seen it year after year, and it's getting tiring. It's getting old.
Well, I mean, that was a pretty good conversation about the Lions, and we'll definitely be talking to them all over the winter because NFL is king, and
The draft.
soon enough we'll be talking about the draft.
You know what? Let's talk about this real fast before you go to break.
All right.
Lions are going to play Indianapolis. Think about making a road trip. You want to go? It's on the road.
Yeah.
I've never been to a road game. I've personally never been on the road to watch a Lions game.
I'm not go to another dome team, though.
My ass ain't sitting outside. You kidding me?
See if you can get us
You're
some
the problem.
credentials.
You're a
to
part of the
that.
problem.
Should
then,
I?
man.
You should, because I don't want to pay for a ticket.
Okay.
That's a good
Keep that in mind, though. Indianapolis on
Damn,
the road.
Jason, good job. Good for you.
Free. I like that. You're thinking good. All right, I'll look into it.
More Brandon Jennings trade rumors.
Let's talk about
Tease
that. It is actually, it's really fun seeing the Lions on the road. I've actually been to Atlanta, Cleveland, Tennessee, Chicago, and Green Bay.
And the Lions lost every single game, didn't they?
No, they didn't.
Oh, son of a gun.
They did. I think right now it's even. They obviously they lost at Green Bay. They won in Chicago. They won in Cleveland.
That Tennessee one, is that in 2012?
It was the one. It was the overtime game where they went for it on fourth down. Right at the goal line, and they fumbled the snap.
Is that the year they went 4-12?
I don't remember.
I think that was Titus Young's last year.
The one that really sticks out though is the Atlanta game. It was the season opener.
08. I remember.
It was an awesome trip going down there.
I was at my ex-girlfriend's house, and they went 4-0 in the preseason. This is it. Look at me when I'm talking to you. This is it. This is the season. First play of Matt Ryan's life.
We took the train in, and we were like, oh, their lines are going to be so good. Matt Stafford's going to have like 5 touchdowns.
Right.
And yeah, it was the emergence of Michael Turner, and
that was before Stafford was drafted here.
I had I wore my Ernie Sims jersey to the game.
Shame on you. I had an Ernie Sims jersey too.
But yeah, we'll talk about some more Detroit sports coming up next.
Oh, Motor City Sports Rant, Detroit Sports Podcast.
Doc here to talk to you about FanaticU.com. Detroit Sports, official outfitter and the official outfitter of the Detroit Sports Podcast Network. We love having FanaticU.com as one of our sponsors. They pass along great deals to all of our listeners at Detroit Podcast on our Twitter page. All you got to do, visit their website, FanaticU.com, and you can check out a wide array of great sports gear. If you're a fan of the Pistons, Tigers, Red Wings, Lions, great gear. If you were a fan of the Spartans, there was such a great selection of Cotton Bowl gear. All you got to do, shop around at FanaticU.com. When you check out, use the promo code DSP. When you check out, promo code DSP, you'll save 15% off your entire order. If they run a sale, check it out because you'll save an additional 15% even off sale items. So check out FanaticU.com, Detroit Sports, official outfitter. And now back to Jarvi and Stubbs on the Motor City Sports Rant. Feel that, Vinny?
Yes. Motor City Sports Rant, Detroit Sports Podcast.com.
Hey now.
Jason the King Jarvi.
How bad do you have to feel if you were one of those people who bought one of those Michigan State, Alabama Cotton Bowl t-shirts? Are you ever going to wear that, or are you just going to take that out to the backyard and burn it?
You trolling me, Jason? I have a sweater.
No. You actually have one?
I have one. It's on my Twitter page.
That's awful. I feel that's so bad.
Can you imagine being Connor Cook's shoulder and arm right now?
Oh,
I mean, it would just be devastating.
are we going to go there? Are we going to rehash the terrible scab that was
we have
New Year's
to
Eve
talk
game?
about it a little bit.
All right. How'd you feel about that mess that occurred on New Year's Eve?
I was downtown, and
So was I.
were you really downtown Detroit?
Yep, I was at the Punch Bowl Social.
I was at the well.
I heard that was like just ridiculous, and it was wall to wall people.
Everywhere was. There was nothing to do. You couldn't do anything.
Punch
And
Bowl
I'm
was
never
fun.
going downtown again. I don't know what's worse, being by yourself on New Year's or being downtown on New Year's.
Adam had a great point, man. The college football playoff on New Year's Eve? Get out of here.
That is
horrible.
ridiculous.
It is
And
ridiculous.
I didn't even know the score. I went into the well and I took a swig of my beer and I looked up and it's.
You laughed.
I spit my beer out of my mouth. It was 31-0. I'm like, oh my God. And I just attacked John Macaroon feverishly via Twitter and text message.
I was crushed. Once it was 10-0 and Connor Cook was driving the team close to the end of the second quarter and they didn't score, I had still a little bit of hope, but once that third quarter happened, forget about it. They just got rolled, and it was surprising. It was a devastating loss. It was devastating. You really did feel like you blew a chance to do something special this year, and but in the end, though, what makes the loss easier for me, it's Alabama. They're the king dog. You walked in with the champ. The champ powerbombed you. You weren't in their league, but they're the champ. Anybody, listen, if you want to complain about Michigan State getting rolled, any of the other 100-plus teams in college football roll up against Alabama playing like that, they're getting rolled too.
Yeah, I really think the Spartans were devastated by injuries the entire time. It's no excuse, though, for basically not showing up against Alabama. Connor Cook, I still don't think that he was fully healthy. I think somewhere down the route, or they may not even come out, he didn't look right. He didn't look like he did in the beginning of the season. And
you want to know why he didn't look right? I feel like everyone's like really focusing in on State and how bad they played. You got to kind of flip the script and look at what Alabama did. They rolled in with the number one defense. They executed their game plan on defense supremely. Michigan State couldn't run the ball. They peppered Connor Cook if he might have been injured, and that's the formula. I mean, I feel like they did it the best out of anybody.
I think, they're the best team that we faced all year. I don't think there was another team that we faced that was as good as Alabama. That was, even when Connor Cook had time, they were on our guys. You know, we like to think Aaron Burbridge is a great receiver, and I'm not sure how good the rest of our receivers really are. I think in the Big Ten, you can really get away with a little bit of that. Like McGarrett Kings can be a top receiver. RJ Shelton can make some moves. But going up against Alabama, I think you need to have a higher quality of player. And that's really what it comes down to, is that Alabama was just clearly a better team. And I really think that Michigan State and Alabama, they're very similar teams. They run a similar style offenses. They want to attack on defense. And the difference is just Alabama has more players. It's playing men against boys.
That was men against boys. It was NFL versus high school, and I feel really bad for both of you.
What was fascinating was
are you sorry for being a fan of Michigan State?
Hell no. It was the best season of my life. Are you kidding me? I don't apologize for what they did. It was awesome. But the best part of that game was everyone said, "Oh, let Coker beat you. Let Coker beat you." Where was Henry? They let Coker beat him, and he was throwing the ball deep, on point, in rhythm. It was amazing. They played great, and you can't discount what Alabama did. They came out with a great strategy. Nick Saban is amazing. He probably knew what was coming 2-3 steps ahead of what D'Antonio was doing. He's the best. The fact of the matter is nobody's Alabama, and they're probably going to be on the verge of winning their 5th national title, and all kudos to them. But Michigan State had a great year. They didn't. Yeah, you're disappointed they didn't play that great, but in the end, it's a great season. They're going to retool. They'll have more chances again in the future. But yeah, if you want to play with the big dogs, you got to have more 5-star talent. More 5-star talent. One stat, Jason, had me on the floor. Michigan State had roughly, I think, 28 5-star players on their team. Alabama, 60. 5-star recruits, 60 on their roster. You got to be 60 5-star recruits? I mean, come on now. That's number 1 in the nation, and that's why they're the premier college football program in the entire country. There's no harm in losing to them.
And it is interesting to see all the Michigan trolls come out. They come out. It's true. They do.
I noticed how many Michigan State players have went away. That's hilarious. Everybody was like, "Oh yeah, from East Lansing, bro. Check it out. Oh, Boss Party." And now they're lost, and everyone just quickly vanished. It's really funny. It's funny, isn't it?
I think
take that loss and love it.
State trolls, and I think there's Michigan trolls.
No, there's not.
And the Michigan trolls are the ones who are saying that
Michigan State fans are so phony. I've seen so much green in the daytime, Jarvi. And
I want to take your laptop and throw it against the wall right now.
You might as well, dude. Look how tiny this thing is. It's like this is my wiener and this is your wiener. I mean, my whole life is just tiny and just terrible. And shame on me for having such a tiny wiener. But back to Michigan State. I don't think they're really that bad. They just really flat out just did not come to play, and they didn't take it very serious. They had too many weeks off, and they weren't there mentally, and they just got destroyed. And Alabama was pissed off about getting smoked by Ohio State last year in the national championship game, and they came out and beat the living shit out of you guys. You guys weren't there mentally. You're not that bad. But I don't know who your quarterback's going to be next year, and that's a big question mark, and I don't know if you guys are ever going to be as good as you guys were this year. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. But you guys got slaughtered.
I think that's the fear, but I don't think it's the reality.
Michigan's on the rise, and you guys are in big trouble.
Look at the troll over here. He had the nerve to troll me on Twitter. He's
What's
like,
that?
Michigan State deserved that beatdown.
I was literally just trying to
From
attack
Vinny
you.
Stubbs.
I was trying to attack you and Jarvi. And Jarvi's never on Twitter. Are you ever on Twitter?
I am.
I quit going on Facebook, so I have to start going on the Twitterage. I'm going to open my Facebook.
No, but that's definitely the fear for Michigan State fans, because we finally got here, and I think old Spartan fans, that's our mindset of we finally got here, and oh my God, are we ever going to get back? But I think that's what Mark D'Antonio has at this program now. He's finally got here, and every year he's, to what he said, he's reached higher. And I think that's what they're going to continue to do. I think you're going to see them start doing satellite camps, trying to get more players from different states and try to cut into the recruiting that Urban Meyer and Nick Saban and Jim Harbaugh are doing. And you're going to see Michigan State continuing to improve. But on the other hand, you're not going to see, I mean, Michigan's not going to fall off right now. They're on the rise. Ohio State's not going to fall off. They're still, they could argue themselves to be in the college football playoff right now.
You could argue there's only 2 really elite college teams. It's Ohio State and Alabama. They're elite. Everyone else is still trying to catch up to them. But Michigan State's right up there with them. They're neck and neck with the top programs in the country.
And even Ohio State, they didn't really look elite this year at all times.
Not towards the end of the year, but they have elite talent. Did you see what they did to Notre Dame?
Yeah, they have elite talent, no doubt.
I feel like they might have really made a big mistake when they played Michigan State.
Right.
I mean, that strategy they came up with.
Don't lose at home to a second string quarterback.
Exactly.
So it's gonna be years to come. It's gonna be Michigan State, Ohio State, Michigan, and there's gonna be years when State is back in here. And there's going to be years when Michigan finally wins a Big Ten championship, which they haven't, you know.
At least you guys aren't Iowa.
When was the last time Michigan won a Big Ten championship?
Dude, I don't
It's
know.
crazy, I know, right?
Can't remember.
I can't even remember.
I remember they went to the Rose
all
Bowl
three of
once.
these teams, and then you mix in the rest of the Big Ten. Iowa's going to go away next year.
My God, they didn't even show up to play either. Shame on the Big Ten.
Now let me ask
Except
you
for
guys,
Michigan.
Let me ask you guys this. You know, you take both teams that we watched this year. Michigan State got rolled in the playoff while Michigan got to 10 wins and destroyed a team in their bowl game. Would you rather, you know, Michigan State not make the playoff and win their bowl game in convincing fashion, or get to the playoff like they did and get just totally dominated?
I'd rather win the Big Ten championship and get to the playoff and lose like they did.
Yeah,
And get
you
blown
have
out.
a chance.
Because it means that you won
You want something.
every year that you win a Big Ten championship, it is a good year.
Antonio's not as smart as I thought he was. You guys got routed. My God, I can't. You guys are sitting here. It's been 10 minutes. You're still talking about it. I would have my head down the entire time. I'm not even a Spartan fan, and my head's down for you guys.
Well, do you want to talk about how Michigan, are they going to be win a national championship next year?
No, not next year. I don't even know who their
The
quarterback's
year after
going to be. Yeah, maybe, possibly. I mean, they're not going to get blown out 38-0 on national television. How's that
I
feel?
think they could.
No,
I think if
it.
Michigan went up against
You guys shouldn't even have been there. A fluke punt got you there.
Michigan
and the
shouldn't have been
scoreboard
there.
showed it.
if Michigan would have been there, they would have lost too.
They wouldn't have lost 38-0. They would have lost 38-3.
Yeah, but they also lost to Utah.
We're 3 points better and a punter worse. So take it.
Michigan. I
Look at
hate
you, troll, Vinny.
You
Come
are
on
a
now.
troll.
What do you want me to do?
You got
You guys lost 38
You got
nothing.
housed
What do you want me
by
to do? It's okay,
Ohio
guys.
State.
You guys are going to be fine next year. You're going to have a different
You
quarterback.
can't take care of Ohio State. How the hell do you think you could take care of Alabama?
And you guys got a
Good
freshman
question.
quarterback.
Don't ask
too.
me that kind of question.
Well, Michigan's doing those fascinating. They're going out trying to get all these transfers, trying to play quarterback. They got a lot of quarterbacks to try to.
Shane Morris must be really bad.
Yeah, he's really bad. They got a lot of quarterbacks though next year going into camp. They're going to try to figure it out. But this, this situation with Michigan and Michigan State is really fun to talk about. And when to piggyback on your point though, I think all the Michigan trolls came out because now Michigan State's arrived. That they've hit a nerve. That all the Michigan fans have seen all the success, all the championships, and so they were waiting in the wings whether we would have lost to Alabama or to Clemson in the final game. They're just waiting. Those people are going to hate no matter what, and this is what makes the rivalry fun, because when Michigan loses, I did it, so I'm not going to hate them for doing it. You just can't, that's what the best part is. There's a real rivalry now, and it's just going to be that much more fun in 2016.
You want to hear my bold prediction for next year?
Hey, now, what is it?
Michigan wins the Big Ten championship.
Oh, what the hell's that about? No.
How can
Yeah.
you attack me and then say that? You can't viciously attack me and tell me I'm a buffoon and then renege on what you just said and then say that.
You have a good point, though. He
does not have a good point whatsoever.
They are bringing in a lot of guys, and Jim Harbaugh is the quarterback whisperer. I think the part that might be challenging, though, is going to Michigan State and Ohio State on the road. This year they were at home, and they got, they played good against State, but not against Ohio State. But going up against the road with a first-year quarterback, I'm not sure they can run it. You might have to only lose one game to win the Big Ten.
But when you look at it, Ohio State, they're losing Zeke Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
They'll still have JT Barrett, but I think they're losing all of their wide receivers, essentially.
Right.
Because
Elliott's picked to go to the Colts.
Miller's going to be gone, and then whoever they had a wide receiver who was injured for the season, he's going to be gone. So we're not sure what that offense is going to be like. And then Michigan, I don't know. I have a funny feeling that I think Michigan is going to win the Big Ten championship next year.
I got a great feeling State's going to be right back in it. Dang, am I going to win it all, baby? All Michigan State's been doing is trending upward. You got to replace 20 seniors, but you have the foundation in place. Strong offensive line.
You kind of just
strong defensive
glossed
line.
over that. 20 seniors.
20 seniors.
You have to replace Jack Conklin, Jack Allen, Connor Cook, Aaron Burbridge, and then on the other side of the ball, you have to replace Shalik Calhoun, Joel Heath, Riley Bullock, Ed Davis.
A lot. There's going to be a lot to turn over, but I
think Tyler O'Connor, he played well enough in the Ohio State game. I honestly would have liked to see him in the Big Ten championship game and maybe even in that the final.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at that point when it was like really out of hand, I think if D'Antonio would have pulled Connor Cook, it would have really hurt Connor Cook.
Mm-hmm. I'm going with the theory that after 9 years, D'Antonio's built a system where you can kind of plug in guys. I mean, they don't have 5-star recruits on that team. They go for 3- and 4-star guys and coach them up. So, whoever they may plug in there, I don't discount the fact that D'Antonio coaches them up and has the system in place to be effective in terms of solid offense, solid defense, and not making too many mistakes. And so you have to give Michigan State the early odds-on favorite, but then closely with Ohio State and Michigan. I give
Michigan State is not the odds-on favorite. Ohio State is the odds-on favorite right now.
I don't want to say that, but yeah, you're probably right.
So I think that's enough college football
Yeah,
talk
do you think
for
the
right
Pistons are really going to trade Brandon Jennings? Because this is the second time I've seen this, and it's both New York
now.
Knicks.
Let me know. Fill us in.
Well, they're talking about trading Brandon Jennings for Jerian Grant. He's a rookie from
You
the
brought that up
Yeah, but
one of the last shows.
What
didn't you?
website are you looking at?
It's
Give him
popped up
credit.
again.
Give him credit. Where-
Type up Brandon Jennings.
Okay.
All you got to do is type him up, and it's right there.
What does it say?
Hold on.
I think it's still too early to decide whether you want to trade the guy. Dude's only been back for like a couple of games.
Dude, it's the Gospel Herald. And M Live. And Sports World Report. It's all over the place.
Chris Broussard Stubbs over there is trying to make trade rumors.
Yeah. What's that guy's name? Oh, Stephen A. Smith. No, wait. Jalen Rose.
Do you have something against Brandon Jennings?
No, I don't want him to. I don't want him to get traded, but he's going to be a free agent after this year. Jerian Grant. Last time we talked about it was averaging just 5.5 points per game.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing worse than that now.
See,
and they can't trade him for a first-round pick because the Knicks don't have a first-round pick.
They got to keep him. That's it.
They can't keep him because he's going to be a free agent after next year. He's going to be a sixth man. He ain't going to stay here. So do you trade him for a rookie that averages 5.5 points per game?
Now you're talking strategy here.
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
I say, you know what? In the end, if you decide that you want to improve the team and buy a trade, okay, fine. But I think that you roll with Brandon Jennings till the end of the year and make him a fair deal and bring him back.
Right. He's not going to want to be a sixth man, though.
Dude, if they're winning and the vibe is good, why wouldn't you want to come back? I mean, you got Reggie Jackson, Andre Drummond. You got the
he's a starting
here.
point guard.
I mean, I'd say he's going to probably look at the money a little bit more than playing time. If you give him the right offer, he'll stay here. But I, with the Pistons, though, you guys have been watching. They are so inconsistent. It's like
I know. I'm going to go home and watch
I hate being right all the time. When they struggle, they can't shoot the ball. Damn it, in the basket. It's tough to watch.
Yeah.
That game versus the Pacers was brutal. I couldn't believe that the shots they were missing versus the Pacers. They should have gotten to a fight. They probably were playing so bad and pissed off.
Yeah, they're just playing 500 in the last 10 games here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So if you owe Brandon Jennings, they owe him $8.5 million this year. So if you trade him now to the Knicks, what happens? How much do you owe him? Do the Knicks just take on that cap? They pay him the $8 million?
Yeah, I believe so.
Or the remaining, whatever's on the balance?
I mean, in the NBA, you have to match up the salary in terms of the cap, so you'd have to get something similar back. But or you'd work it out where if the Pistons took on a little bit of it, then they'd have to take on a player with more salary. So, but I'm totally against the idea of trading Brandon Jennings, and you keep bringing it up. It's fascinating.
Just to throw a little bit of dirt on this, apparently Carmelo Anthony and Kristaps Porzingis aren't huge fans of Brandon Jennings. There's another guy. There's this Roten. I don't know what his first name is. But and also Ian Begley of ESPN said that Derek Fisher was not impressed by Brandon Jennings.
Really? You said that?
Wow.
No.
So you never know. I still feel like Brandon Jennings is our biggest trade piece for the Pistons.
Yes, he is.
What do you think they need to bring in?
Another point guard to back up Reggie Jackson when he's inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
Because when the guy is not on, he's not on, and they need a guy that will light a fire under his ass.
So you're just saying Brandon Jennings would be that point guard, but he doesn't want to be the sixth man.
Yeah, and he's going to be a free agent. And I don't think Jerian Grant's the guy either. Averaging 5.5. He was averaging 5.5 points per game. We talked about it last month, and he's like 2 points worse than that now. Why the hell would you bring him here?
Yeah, I agree. Jerian Grant, he's not the answer, but I guess what are you actually going to get for Brandon Jennings? I think we may be overvaluing what he is. I think he could be he probably is a starting point guard on a lot of teams.
Yes, he is.
But teams aren't going to pay for that. He's coming off of his Achilles tear.
Mm-hmm.
So we're probably looking at getting a backup guy or maybe some draft picks, which I wouldn't be upset with draft picks. Maybe if you get a low number one.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, what you're seeing with the Pistons is a lot of inconsistency. And
they're young.
Yeah, they're young, but what you wouldn't expect it at this point now in the season.
Yeah, you kind of would. You guys were blowing them last month, and I told you, pump the brakes, dude. They're going 500. I don't know, cuz.
I don't know.
They're going to be the fifth seed, guys.
I'm pretty sure at the beginning of the season, I said that the Pistons are going to be a 500 team.
Yes, you did. And I had them 4 games under 500. I went 39-43.
See, the reason why we all say that is, though, when they play well, they shoot effectively, they play great defense, they hustle, they come back in games, they're never out of it. That's what we see. We're not seeing it, though, game in and game out. That's what the tough part. And an article that came out in the Detroit News, Rod Beard had a really good article and said that on the court, sometimes Andre Drummond loses focus, and because of that, that bogs down the offense, and the team doesn't play as good. When Andre Drummond's on, This team's pretty good. Same with Reggie Jackson. So those two guys got to step up and lead game in, game out. 82 games. Let's go. Let's put the fuel in the engine and let's get this team going.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the things that kind of hurts the Pistons is that they really are dependent on Drummond and Reggie Jackson, and that's it. If one of those guys is off, then it's going to be a bad night.
From time to time, Marcus Morris can come in and definitely handle his business, but not consistently. You're paying those two big guys to handle their business, and when they don't, it really messes things up.
Right, and we would have hoped, and I think that was what we were expecting to see from Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, is to finally take another step and be that, the third character. Back when it was James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Russell Westbrook in Oklahoma City.
My God, they were together.
Right, and you were hoping that he was going to be that next piece, but we signed this guy, Marcus Morris, that he's the next piece. I didn't want him to. I mean, it's great what he's doing, but I'd rather see KCP coming in, night out, scoring 20 points.
Yeah, only time will tell. They're 18 and 16,
and the good thing about that though is they're 18 and 16. If they're only because it's the top 4 divisions, they get the top 4 spots. They're only 3 games away from being 5th in the Eastern Conference right now.
Yep, they got to handle business against Orlando tonight, and then Boston on Wednesday. Motor City Sports Rant, DetroitSportsPodcast.com.
If you've been enjoying what you've been listening to, check out the Detroit Sports Podcast Network. Our website, DetroitSportsPodcast.com. Free and easy way to support us. Go check out the website. You can download all the weekly podcasts. We're running about 6 to 7 unique shows, often imitated, never duplicated. I love seeing all the other podcast networks sprouting up, trying to do the same thing. It's great to see. Visit our website, Detroit Sports with an S, podcast.com, DetroitSportsPodcast.com. You can click through the Amazon banner, do your online shopping, show your support in a free and easy manner. All you got to do, check out the website, click through the banner links, check out who the hell is running all these podcasts when you click through the team. Also, if you want to buy tickets to any of the Pistons, Wings games coming up, go check out the tickets there at DetroitSportsPodcast.com. Great ticket prices, and you can definitely, go to games at an affordable price. Thank you for all the support for those who have been going to the website. We greatly appreciate it. DetroitSportsPodcast.com. And now back to Jarvi and Stubbs on the Motor City Sports Rant.
Oh, my God.
Jarvi always brings it, man. This stuff's good. Dun, dun, dun.
Grab my wiener. Now squeeze it.
I don't think that's what he had in mind, Vinny.
Oh, yeah.
Since you're offering.
Twist it. Now stroke it. Yeah. Wow. Motor City Sports Rant. DetroitSportsPodcast.com. It's time. Jason the King Jarvi. Wow, John, are you voguing? Oh. You ready?
Yeah, which one do you want to do first?
The wild card.
Wild card? Some picks?
Yes.
Hit us up. What do you got?
Wild card picks brought to you by TwoGalore.com. Are you an avid spanker? Spank with us at TwoGalore.com. And now, Vinny Stubbs. Wow. Thank you.
I did hear a report that an orgasm a day kept the cancer away.
Well, I got about 4 of them. Wild card. We didn't tally up the wins from the entire season, but I have a feeling that I won, even though I had the worst record. Jason the King Jarvi.
What's
The wild card, my friend. Kansas City Chiefs travel to Houston, where they're favored by 3.5, with the over-under at 41.
Give me Houston.
What?
Yeah, I like their defense.
They have like a third-string quarterback, and the Chiefs won 10 games straight. Oh my God! You can't renege.
Okay,
Macaroon.
I'm gonna give you Houston. Give me the under. JJ Watt. JJ Watt's gonna score all their touchdowns.
Give me KC and the over.
Give me KC in the over. Game number 2. Ben Roethlisberger tries not to rape anybody on his way to Cincinnati as they take on Andy Dalton and the Bengals.
It's not Andy Dalton. It's AJ McCarron.
Is he starting?
It's AJ McCarron.
And Dalton's not playing.
He's out for the season.
What? I seen he's been playing, but I thought they were waiting for Dalton for the playoffs to get started.
You're the best, Vinny. I
Dude,
love you.
suck my testes. I see why Pittsburgh's favored by 3 with the over-under at 47.5. Jason the King Jarvi.
Give me Pittsburgh. I think they're
Oh.
one of the favorites coming out of the AFC.
Antonio Brown's the
give me the over.
man. Yeah, give me Pittsburgh and the over.
Oh, my God. Marvin Lewis, you're so cursed. You son of a bitch. You won your first playoff game since 1990. But Andy Dalton's hurt. Dude.
News to Vinny. What do you got?
Give me Cincinnati in the under. I'm sorry.
I actually like AJ McCarron.
Dude, I like him. He's just as good as Andy Dalton. They
Essentially.
could have beat Denver the other night. His balls are on the money. I want Philadelphia to pick him up. Give me Cincinnati in the under. They're one-dimensional in Pittsburgh. How's the guys on offense?
Fair point.
I'm talking to myself. Seattle, minus 3.5 as they take on Teddy Bridgewater and the Minnesota Vikings, who are playing so tough because they play outside.
Easy pick. I'm going Seattle.
Over
on the
and under 41.5. Jason the King Jarvi.
Seattle. They're gonna house them.
House them. Seattle on the over.
3.5?
Easy.
Give me the
Easy.
under.
Easy.
Give me Seattle in the over. Dude, Aaron Rodgers travels to Washington, and I don't know how the hell everybody's picking Washington, but they're favored by 1 with the over-under at 46. Jason, the King.
Give me Washington.
You wanted a boo, didn't you?
I wanted the you like that? You like that?
I hate Kirk Cousins.
Dude, Green Bay is bad.
Dude, what's going on? If they didn't win that, if they didn't throw that Hail Mary in Ford Field, they'd be 9-7. Think about that.
They haven't been playing that good. Give me Washington. I think it's going to be a very
What?
tight, very close game. Very close. But if you've watched all year, Washington at home is a monster. They play solid brand of football. They got the pieces to maybe make some explosive plays. Kirk Cousins has maybe that special factor. Give me the Washington Redskins.
KC is gonna outduel Aaron Rodgers.
Really?
Oh, hey
Give me
now.
Green Bay in the under. There's no way in hell they're losing to the Redskins. There's no way.
Okay.
There's just no way.
It's gonna be a fun play. I love the playoffs, man. It's the best time of year. Ooh, it's the best time to watch football.
Well, I wish there was more games, but there's not. So there you have it.
2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, baby. What is this? The wild card round?
Yes, it
yes,
is.
This is what we call.
Man. Oh, I
Football's
guess we
already
could do the national championship game.
Oh,
Alabama,
yeah.
Clemson.
Oh.
What's the spread on that?
I want to say Alabama was initially favored at 7.
What do you
Okay,
got?
I'm gonna take Alabama in a rout. If they play like that, they're playing great. I love what Nick Saban's doing. I don't see them losing in any fashion. Give me Alabama.
I'm going to take Clemson. I'm going to take the points.
Right.
Because I think Clemson is good. They're the number 1 team. It's hard to go undefeated in a college football season. I think they're gonna put up a good fight and they're gonna keep it close. I think Bama still wins, but Clemson's gonna cover.
Give me Alabama. They blew out Michigan State 38-0, and Clemson blew out Oklahoma, but Oklahoma put 17 points on them, and Michigan State put 0. On Alabama.
Oklahoma was supposed to be the world beater, though, who was going to win the national championship.
Yeah. We'll just give me
I think,
Alabama.
honestly, Oklahoma, Clemson, and Alabama all had different caliber players than Michigan State.
John, I just want to grab your butt right now. I don't even know why. Just grab it and
You noticed
squeeze
I've been working out for the New Year's? Thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
You look like Nick Saban's testicle.
All right, you guys have waited long enough. You've made us wait for the best segment on the podcast, one of the top 4 segments on the whole network. Where the hell is Length or Girth, brother?
It's right here in my back pocket. Length or girth. Question number 1. Jason the King Jarvi. The Lions, 7-9. Won 3 games straight. I don't know if they're bringing Jim Caldwell and the band back, but it smells like that, and it also smells like dung. Dude. Ernie at Corsi, search. What's going on? Length or girth?
The search isn't how long it's going to take for him to bring in a new GM.
Yeah, we already kind of did this, but now it's really starting to scare me because
I'm going to go length
It's
here.
just not
It's
happening.
going to be a long time, or at least until February, until we really see this kind of shake out.
right.
Unless they're bringing back Sheldon White.
Oh my God. It's going to happen. I feel it in my bones. I want to say Girth because that's who it is. No Trent Kirshner, no Patton, no Polian, and no Ballard for you. It's Sheldon White in his erection for Martha Ford. Question number 2 on Length or Girth. The Minnesota Vikings, Jason, look at me when I'm talking to you. It's scaring me. They went 11-5. They beat the Packers to win the NFC North. The Lions didn't last year. And the Vikings are playing outside. And as a result, they're tougher, and they're winning games with Teddy Bridgewater at the helm. Question number 2, the Minnesota Vikings. Success in the NFC North, Length or Girth.
They're going back indoors when they get their new stadium.
Damn it, I was hoping you wouldn't do that to me because that's my answer.
So, and the AP's getting older. They may have another year where they're successful, but unless they really kind of retool that offense, it's not going to be too long lasted.
I'm going to go Girth as well because they're playing indoors next year. And that dome looks just absolutely outstanding.
They like to kill birds.
Oh my God, they can kill whatever they want. It's just a phenomenal thing. But it's not as phenomenal as question number 3. And it's the Detroit Pistons. They're playing like garbage. Again,
They're 5-5 in their last 10.
I understand, but that's not acceptable because Stan's tan undies deserve more. My God, Stan, you're just a great human being. The Pistons playing 500. Length of girth.
Length. That's what we said at the beginning of the season. They're going to be a 500 team. And unless they make some kind of move at the trade deadline, they're going to be a 500 season. But I think it's going to be good enough to get them into the playoffs.
I think I asked that question before, too. John's looking at me like I did.
It's okay. That's what they are. They're a 500 team.
We can reevaluate where they're going to be.
All right, so question number 4.
Okay.
Bonus.
Unprecedented.
Me asking the same questions twice on length of girth.
I'm going to go length because there's only so many questions you can ask.
Dude, all I need to know is, can I keep the notes that you wrote on your napkin? Frame it so when you get big, I have Vinny Stubbs notes from the podcast.
Sure.
Thank you.
Listen, I've been really busy. I just moved into an apartment, and I lost all my papers. I had to write them on napkins, and I'm watching the cat at the house. Oh, my God.
You like in the apartment?
No, I don't. It's
No?
a nightmare. By myself, I have no furniture. My brother does not care.
The neighbors
You
look
living
okay?
with your brother?
Yeah. We got an apartment in Livonia.
No furniture at all?
No, and he's a furniture mover. So we got the apartment. He gets in his truck and goes to Seattle and goes, I'll see you in 2 months. I go, thanks a lot, dude. Kind of have no furniture or anything. I spent my whole life savings on this apartment, and it was just a drop into the bucket to you. And I have like nothing. So I'm like at my roommate's house still, and I have an apartment. And it's just atrocious.
Oh,
And the place stinks like rotten testicles and curry.
yeah, do something about that, man.
I got Indians as my neighbors. They smell so bad. And I go outside to go smoke a cigarette, and I go, hi, how are you? And they just stare at me like I'm like the worst human being of all time.
Do they speak the language?
No, they don't. And they smell like assholes, Jason. They stink so bad. I open the window up and I stick the fan out to blow all the air out.
Why?
It's a very good question. And it stinks. Oh, and the first time I went to go take a shower, the middle knob, right? The stem, the diverter stem, to turn it from bath water to shower water, I turn it left to turn the shower on. It shoots out of the wall and water starts spraying out of the wall at me. And then my friend comes over to fix it. It makes it 10 times worse. So the apartment's not.
Oh, no!
Dan, I'm telling you, you should come over to my house and you'd be saying the same thing in person. That's really all I have. My apartment is atrocious. I need furniture. So if anybody would like to take the money that they're donating on the podcast and just donate it to my couch and TV stand.
And if you listen to this, tweet Vinny Stubbs. He said he felt a little lonely that he's not getting as much love on Twitter at Vinny Stubbs.
Yeah. I mean, how do we have all these downloads and no one interacts with me? I wouldn't interact with me either. I wouldn't give you a very good answer about anything.
I'll implore. We'll kick up the Twitter game. Jason had a fan on Twitter to ask him a fantasy question each and every week. Got to the finals. You know,
Jason's not even on Twitter.
He's
I
on
know
there.
on Twitter.
I'd never see you on
Jarvi
Twitter.
the King.
I know where you're at. I
The
don't ever
fantasy
see you posting.
champion. That's what I like to hear.
Listen, I posted for I swear to God, 10 jobs on the radio. No one's calling me. I'm about to just go up there tomorrow and just kick the door and be like, listen.
Next week we should just call up some of these directors on the podcast and say, hey, why don't you put Vinny on?
I think interning ruined my life.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, please don't do that.
All right, fellas. End this bad boy.
Yep, Motor City Sports Rant, Detroit Sports Podcast. I'm dead.
Okay, nice idiot. F you. Bye-bye.
Good day, sir. I said good day.
All right. Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Loser.